Shalom, and welcome to Hebrew Bible Secrets with your host, Rabbi Beaton. We are reading today from the book of Mathew, starting at chapter 17. Chapter 17, verse 1. 1. And after 6 days, Yahushua took Kepha, Peter, Yaakov, and Yehochanan, John, his brother, and brings them up into a high mountain apart. 2. And was transfigured before them, and his face shone as the sun, and his clothing white as light. 3. And behold, there appeared to them Moshe, Musa, and Eliyahu, Elijah, talking with him. 4. Then answered Kepha, Peter, and said to Rabbi Yahushua, It is good for us to be here. If you will, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moshe, Musa, and one for Eliyahu, Elijah. 5. While he yet spoke, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. 6. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were really afraid. 7. And Yeshua came and touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid. 8. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Yeshua only. 9. And as they came down from the mountain, Yeshua commanded them, saying, Tell the vision to no man, until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. 10. And the disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the experts of the Torah that Eliyahu, Elijah, must come first? 11. And Yeshua answered and said to them, Eliyahu, Elijah, truly shall come and restore all things. 12. But I say to you, that Eliyahu, Elijah, has already come, and they knew him not, but have done to him whatever they wished. Likewise, also, the Son of Man will suffer from them. 13. Then the disciples understood that he spoke of them, of Jonathan, Yehochanan, the immerser. 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, 15. Master, Adon, Lord, have loving kindness on my son, for he is an epileptic and severely afflicted, for oftentimes he falls into the fire, and often into the Mayim, into the water. 16. And I brought him to your disciples, and they could not cure him. 17. Then Yeshua answered and said, O beliefless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long must I endure with you? Bring him here to me. 18. And Yeshua commanded the demon, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. 19. Then came the disciples to Yeshua separately and said, Why could we not cast him out? 20. And Yeshua said to them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say to you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it shall move, and nothing shall be impossible for you. 21. But this kind does not, except by petition and fasting. 22. And while they stayed in Galilee, Yahushua said to them, The Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men. 23. And they shall kill him, and the 3rd day he shall be raised again. And they were exceedingly sorry. 24. And when they had come to Capharnaum, they that received the Beth Hamikdash, the temple, tax money, came to Kepha, Peter, and said, Does your Rabbi not pay 2 drachma coins for tax? 25. He said, Yes. And when he had come into the house, Yahushua stopped him, saying, "What do you think, Shimon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tax? Of their own children or of the citizens?" 26. And Kepha, Peter, said to him, "Of citizens." Yahushua said to him, "Then are the children free?" 27. Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, you go to the beach and cast a hook and take up the fish that first comes up. And when you have opened its mouth, you shall find a 4 drachma coin. Then take that and give it to them, for me and for you. So that now ends chapter 17. So let's have a look at some of the footnotes. So we have the first footnote, which is verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahushua took Kepha, Peter, Yaakov, and Yehochanan, John, his brother, and brings them up into a high mountain. So let's have a look at this word, high mountain. So this mountain is believed to be Mount Tabor in Israel. Okay. So the next footnote we have is in verse 3. And behold, there appeared to them Moshe, Musa, and Eliyahu, Elijah. So let's have a look at this, Elijah. These two are seen talking with Yahushua, because in the drash they signify the true report of the Torah, one of Yahweh and one of the prophets. 2. Of the coming messianic kingdom, as both the Torah and the prophets had spoken about and written about. Okay, so then we'll go to the next footnote, which is in verse 5. While he yet spoke, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." Okay, so we have listened to him. Let's have a look at this. So, see the footnote, Mathew 3:17. So let's have a quick look at Mathew 3:17. Matthew 3:17. And lo, a voice from Shamayim, from heaven, saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." So this is my beloved Son. We have a footnote here for son. So it came to pass, when Yahweh was come up out of the Mayim, the water, the whole fount of the set apart Ruach spirit, the feminine, descended and rested upon him, and said to him, "My son, in all of the prophets was I waiting for you, that you should come, and that I might rest on you. For you are my rest. You are my first begotten Son, that reigns forever." An ancient copy of this letter of Hebrews that is now lost. So Jerome quoted from this in 342 to 420 CE. Origen also quoted from it in 185 to 254 CE. This gospel is lost, but only some quotations exist. Messiah Volume 3, page 119, by Avi ben Mordecai. The voice is not of the Abba in the Shamayim in the heavens, but of Mother, as stated, can also be confirmed because it is attested by Yehochanan John. He wrote his gospel much later than Netanyahu Mathew, and lived the longest from the 12 disciples of Yahushua. John 5:37 attests to this fact, that the Abba's voice has never been heard. Okay, so that's quite a bit to take in there, but it gives you more understanding of what was going on here. It was Imhokma speaking at the time. Okay, let's go to the next footnote. So we have in verse 12, but I say to you that Elijah has already come. Okay, let's have a look at this word. Elijah has already come. He meant Yehochanan, John, in his likeness. Okay, that's what we're talking about there. So in the likeness of John. Okay, so Eliyahu in the likeness of John. Okay. So the next footnote we have after that is in verse 20. And Yeshua said to them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say to you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, move. So the mountain here is a symbol of a kingdom or nation. Rabbi Yeshua is stating that if your faith is even as small as a mustard seed, that if you wanted to shake a kingdom or do something that glorifies Elohim, that you will be able to do just that as long as you are persistent and trustworthy. So go out there and conquer a mountain, or conquer the mountain, the kingdom, for Elohim to spread the Torah, or to bring up a revolution in the way people behave or act towards Elohim. So the faith of a mustard seed, so you can accomplish anything. Okay, let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 21. But this kind does not, except by petition and fasting. So let's have a look at this word fasting. This verse 21 is not present in many copies of the manuscripts. Another embellishment of Rome. Okay, so let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 24. And when they had come to Capharnaum, they that received the Beth Hamikdash, the temple tax money, came to Kepha and said, does your Rabbi not pay 2 drachma coins for tax? So let's have a look at this, coins for tax. So Yeshua paid the tribute. If we read Mathew 17:27, this was a temple tax which Yeshua had already paid. But he was teaching the principle of sons of the king not paying taxes by means of an illustration in which he shows that he is the king and kings don't pay taxes to themselves. And notice he changes it to a civil tax by asking to go pay the money he received from the fish's belly to the Caesar, illustrating he knew what was even in the fish's belly, which is a set-apart act. This was a command from the Torah, Exodus 30:12, where a half-temple shekel was paid annually as an atonement money. However, this was not collected once a year, and in a place like Galil, the collectors would have to know if the person lived there for 12 months before it was due. Also, as was the case, it was not required of Torah scholars, doctors, wise men, who were free of any such taxes. Josephus says the following, laid a tax of 2 drachmas, the same with the half shekel, upon the Yehudim, and ordered it to be brought yearly into the capital at Rome, as it used to have been paid into the temple of Jerusalem. We need not wonder that we hear of the receivers of the half shekel at Capernaum, since once a year, on the 15th of the month of Adar, tables were placed and collectors sat in every city in Judea, as they did on the 25th of the same month in the sanctuary. You can read more about this in the Mishnah tractate called Shekalim. Okay, so that ends the chapter 17. This is Rabbi Jeremy Beaton saying, thank you for watching, and hope to see you on the other side. Shalom, shalom.